Shalom, all praises to Yahweh, Bashem, Yahweh Shai, Bashem, Harakah, Kadash. Double honors unto the apostles and elders, great millstone and rule well, and Shalom to the hopeful elect. This is a response video to the video Apostle Tar did, delving into the hour of temptation, being close. Alright, so basically, I'm going to move into the same information that he went into. Obviously, there's another article that's come out from Business Insider, and I'm going to touch on it via that article. But for now, I'm gonna I'm gonna use Sky News to delve into something else that's actually came out as well recently. I see this earlier today. Okay, so I'm gonna delve into this information immediately. So it's a coronavirus significant breakthrough in race for vaccine made by UK scientists. Right, a vaccine may be close to being tested on animals than humans, depending on the level of funding researchers get. Okay, so it says the scientist leading the UK's research on the coronavirus vaccine says his team have made a significant breakthrough by reducing a part of the normal development time from 2 to 3 years to just 14 days. All right, so that's an exponential cut down in time, which to me, it makes me raise my eyebrow. Okay, it raises the brow. Okay, all of a sudden you got this vaccine ready, and and Hong Kong's talking about monitoring its citizens that have been to the provenance of Wuhan. All right, so Professor Robin Shattock, head of mucosal infection and immunity at Imperial College London, said he is now at the stage to start testing the vaccine on animals as early as next week, with human studies in the summer if enough funding is secured. He told Sky News conventional approaches usually take at least 2 to 3 years before they even get to the clinic, and we've gone from that sequence to generating a candidate in the laboratory in 14 days. Okay, and we will have it in animal models by the beginning of next week. We've short-tracked that part. The next phase will be to move that from early animal testing into the first human studies. Right, and I want to enter in the animal protesters. I want to see what they got to say about that. All right, and we think the adequate funding we could do that in a period of a few months. Okay, Professor Shattock is part of a global effort to develop a vaccine that could potentially save hundreds of thousands of lives if this coronavirus outbreak develops into a full-blown pandemic. Okay, the vaccine will be too late for this current outbreak, but it will be crucial if there's another one. All right, so they're saying this vaccine ain't even gonna run for this current period we're in right now. Ain't gonna do nothing. But saying if the Lord wills it, if there's another one, they're saying they're gonna have all hands on deck and they got a vaccine in place. They're ready to serve you. All right. So he said it's not going to be late if this becomes a pandemic, and if it circulates around the world, we still. It's not going to be late if this becomes a pandemic, and if it circulates around the world. So they're basically saying it could stop a pandemic. We still don't know much about the epidemic itself, so it may wane over the summer months if it's like influenza. We may see a second wave come through on a global basis, and if it comes a vaccine will be really important and would be in place to tackle that. All right, and that's the main point. There would be a vaccine in place to tackle it. All right, that's the key point. And amongst every other things, scientists from China, the United States, Australia, and Europe are all racing to develop a vaccine and are collaborating with each other in an effort to speed up the process. Now there's another video I'm gonna do at some point. I don't know. I'm trying to work out what layout I'm gonna do, whether it be a commentary or just upload the video and then do a video afterwards. I don't know, as at this point in time. But I found a video dealing with them basically like documenting the test run that the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation did. They got a whole like 11-minute video breaking it down on how the process of quelling the outbreak would go. So this is actually part of the process, a collaboration of multiple countries in cohesion to develop a vaccination, and in amongst other things which I'll delve into in the video. Britain has pledged 20 million pounds into CEPI, the Coalition of Epidemic Preparedness Innovations, an international agency set up in 2017 to deal with health crises exactly like this one, see? And a further 20 million has been embarked for rapid research into coronavirus here in the UK. The money is crucial, but so too is knowledge, all right? So they need to have, they need the resources to deal with the problem, but they need the knowledge of what the problem is in order to best utilize those resources, being the money, all right? The 2003 SARS epidemic killed some 800 people. At the time, China was severely criticized for withholding information, all right? Again, what did I just read? It said about the money is crucial, but so too is the knowledge. So now that's why they had a coalition set up where all these different countries come together to deal with preparedness for epidemics, basically, right? To basically between the different countries, different people involved, different nations, to basically dispense that information in and amongst each other so that they can work in unison to basically fight against anything of that nature. At the time, China was severely criticized for withholding information. This time it has been praised for sharing crucial data with the international health community. All right? So they've switched up the pattern. They're basically saying, look, we're going to divulge information to you guys if this is going to, quell everything that's going on much quicker. The lessons learned after the SARS outbreak are proving crucial in helping scientists deal with this epidemic, but a SARS vaccine was never fully developed. All right? When the virus died out, the funding dried up. Dr. David Heyman is one of the world's leading experts in the infectious diseases. He led the international fight against SARS and told Sky News this time a vaccine must be developed. All right. He said the case of SARS, there was lots of interest in developing a vaccine, but that disappeared rapidly after the outbreak was contained and over. And that even makes me question why are they harping on about there must be a vaccine developed? Like, let me word this correctly. Why are they harping on about the need to create a vaccine for coronavirus, even if it goes away, when SARS went away and never came back again? Why? That's what it makes me question. Why would they want to do that? Well, that's like I'm sure there's an answer. I'm gonna do my little Googles and whatnot. But anyway, today we have a new coalition, the CEPI, which is based here in London and which is stimulating development of vaccines. Okay, and hopefully that will continue to stimulate development of coronavirus vaccines after this outbreak is over. It may not be effective in getting a vaccine ready for this outbreak. A vaccine may not even be necessary, but it would be nice to have a coronavirus vaccine somewhere on a shelf, which could be rolled out during a future epidemic. So the main takeaway from this is that they've developed already. They're saying they're in the pipeline of developing a vaccine for a potential second wave of coronavirus. So if the coronavirus does break out a second, if it wanes and there's a second wave of it, there should be a vaccine in place to deal with everything. Now, I'll segue to my next article, which Apostle Ha delved into. So this is Business Insider. Officials in Hong Kong are using wristbands to track families that are under Wuhan coronavirus quarantine. So they've quarantined people that have come from Wuhan in Hong Kong, all right? People in Hong Kong who visited the Hubei province in China will be placed on in-home quarantine and tracked using wristbands, officials said. According to the South China Morning Post, the wristbands won't use GPS, but they will be connected to a smartphone that must remain in the quarantine person's home. All right. So that quarantine person has to have a smartphone, that wristband on, which is attached to their smartphone. As Apostle broke it down, it's a precursor to the RFID chip, the mark of the beast. All right. So anyone that's out there that don't believe the RFID chip is a mark of the beast, they can't see it now. Ultimately, when it gets presented in front of you, everything's gonna fall in place. The picture's good. You're gonna see the bigger picture. Through the spirit and power of Yahweh Hashem El Shai Hashem Harakah Kadash. All right. Those who evade quarantine face a $641 fine and up to 6 months in prison, according to SCMP. So now they're saying anyone that potentially, now this is a form of, I could say, martial law. Because basically, not martial law. There's a word I forgot what it's called. But basically, you're being quarantined just from going from a place that has the plague outbreak. And basically now, if you try to leave your house and go pick up your child, or some emergency happens where your mother dies and you got to see her before so she can give you her last words and whatnot. If they find you out that you did that, you're gonna be charged almost $650, and then you're gonna face up to 6 months in jail or in prison as well. Okay, so there's coming a stipulation. All right, now for engaging with this. Anyway, public health officials in Hong Kong said they plan to use wristbands to track people. Main thing is to track people. All right. Now someone could get smart and give someone else a wristband and a phone and go out on the walkies. That's what could happen. All right. So what would be the next step? The RFID chip inside of their hand, right? Placed on home quarantine after they returned from China's Hubei province, the center of coronavirus epidemic. Those who evade the mandatory quarantine risk being tracked by the police, facing up to 6 months in jail and paying a fine of $641. All right. Any resident of Hong Kong who has visited China's Hubei province within the past 14 days is required to undergo quarantine for 2 weeks during the incubation period. Okay. 14 days. Those who returned to Hong Kong with symptoms of the virus or had close contact with an infected person face mandatory quarantine at facilities in the city. Those who return symptom-free or without close contact are allowed to be quarantined in their homes. Okay, according to the report, Hong Kong said it had 500 wristbands ready to use for the at-home quarantines, and that 30 families had been selected to receive the wristbands. Government, so they only got 500, so it's a test run of feeling it out. Government officials said the wristbands do not use GPS, but will be connected to a smartphone required to remain connected in a person's home. All right. We have to respect users' privacy. Thus, we have not equipped the wristbands with GPS. So that's right now, okay? So yeah, a lot of this information, Posta already covered. All right. So you can check it out. But the point being is that these people are saying that they have the coronavirus vaccine on the shelf. Now, this is dealing with the Hong Kong thing. They have a procedure in place for people that are infected. All right, so they're monitoring people that have been infected, potentially infected, should I say? All right, so if they're monitoring someone that's potentially been infected, what are they gonna have to do with someone that's vaccinated and totally clean? All right, they're gonna have to monitor them somehow as well. Entering the RFID chip, they showed you that, which was shown in the movie I Am Legend. Okay, I Am Legend shows you that after people that were cleared to go, they were scanned. Okay, and it was their details came up, like it identified them and said whether they were good to go or not. All right, and that's the same thing that's gonna happen in the near future, man. When the time of Jacob's trouble comes, they're gonna use the RFID chip to basically say, look, to sanctify the those that are basically been quote unquote cured, but really vaccinated against the strain of against the said coronavirus. All right, so that basically you will be allowed to roam free within the world. But whereas the other ones will end up in internment camps and potentially be left to die, rotten die, or different other procedures that were gonna be going on at the time. But the main point is, if they're doing this right now for people that are potentially infected, all right, by basically giving them wristbands, what are they gonna do to people that are gonna be vaccinated? Okay, it makes all the sense, according to prophecy, to give them an RFID chip. All right, they're on a system. Their details are on the RFID chip. The medical, their biography, you could say, is on the RFID chip, and it can monitor their health levels consistently. All right, without them having to check in or anything of that nature. So with that, I mean, we already know the scriptures. So with that, I pray you're edified. Say shalom to the next time.